right, hello, folks. My name is Al Sky Fajardo,
I'm Michael Dolise.
And I'm Sue Tam.
and welcome to the TAMS Percussion Podcast.
The purpose of the TAMS Percussion Podcast is that we are a group of three percussionists of three very different backgrounds wanting to share our perspectives in the world of percussion in the fields of mainly performance and pedagogy.
So let's introduce our three hosts, starting with Michael.
Well, hey, I'm Michael Dolise. I'm originally from Winchester, Virginia. I got my start in percussion in about seventh grade. So this is a little fun story. I wanted to do jazz band when I was in middle school. So I wanted to start on piano. I started playing piano when I was very young, like fourth grade. So really wanted to make sure I had I had a piano background for a while. So I wanted to join jazz band. So I ended up playing jazz band for the piano on the condition that I joined the percussion section for the concert band in middle school. So seventh grade, they handed me a pair of drumsticks, and I've been here since.
Nice.
And
what college do you go to?
Currently in my master's program at James Madison University. I got my undergraduate from Shenandoah Conservatory in music education and a performance certificate. So like the closest thing you could do to being a double major at Shenandoah in performance and education.
How was your college life or your undergrad life?
It's interesting. I was the only one in my class for like the longest time, at least in the classical studio. There was a lot of room to grow. I had a lot of great people above me to learn from. I never really had anybody at my side to kind of compete with, quote unquote compete. I really like to use the word competition a lot when it comes to growth. So I think it's really neat to kind of have my own path there. But now going in my master's program, I have like a couple other people around my age, level, I don't know, year, whatever you want to say for that.
All right. Wait, I have one more question. Who do you study with?
My undergraduate with Earl Yowell who originally he had many years of experience in the St. Paul Chamber Orchestra. And I currently study with Casey Cangelosi.
All right, Sky, it's your turn.
All right, hello everyone. My name is Alfred Sky Fajardo. I typically go by Sky. I grew up mainly in Illinois, Aurora, Illinois, and parts of Chicago, Illinois as well. I started percussion when I was 7 because what young kid doesn't want to bang the drums just like every rock star, pop star out there? But actually, when I started band, I actually started on trumpet in the 5th grade. And it wasn't until sophomore year of marching band did I decide to do the drum line. And it's like, I really loving the percussion stuff. So my junior year, I switched my primary instrument to percussion, auditioned at Vandercook College of Music, where I'm currently studying my undergraduate degree. And I just experienced a lot of different perspectives of percussion from, people who've done percussion all their life, people like me who've done wind and percussion, and kind of everything in between. I'm also currently studying, or my applied professor is Dr. James Yakis, who's had a lot of history in the Texas area, as well with Yamaha, Remo, Vic Firth, and all of those.
Awesome. You know what? I forgot to ask. What's your guys' spirit instrument? Like the one that you really like? Or multiple percussion instruments?
Okay, give us 3 each.
Yeah. That's too many.
It's not enough.
So I'll end up saying marimba first because that's what most of my content on my social media involves a lot of. Just learning marimba rep. My Instagram handle speaks for itself for the second one, some mad vibes. I love vibraphone. I got my start in percussion, like jazz vibraphone, like high school. Did a lot of that kind of stuff too, but like I'm not very good anymore. And then I don't know. I really like timpani as well. My undergraduate was really timpani focused. Like I feel like my professor was a timpanist for the chamber orchestra for years, so you kind of have to learn a lot of timpani in that respect.
I'd have to say my main instruments typically consider concert snare drum. Not so much the rudiment stuff. I'll get better at that in time. So mainly concert snare solos. Big fan of De La Cruz. Second would be vibraphone. because I also like the jazz vibe scene. And my third instrument would definitely have to be kind of everything that falls under the Latin percussion area. So timbales. I really love congas. Um, I don't know if cajon counts in there, but like everything hand percussion is just, I love it very much. So,
Awesome.
Very
Yeah.
cool.
all right,
I guess.
Sulin, it's your turn to introduce yourself.
All right. Hi, guys. My name is Sulin, and I go to the University of Michigan, and I study with Doug Perkins and Ian Antonio, and they're absolutely amazing. And I also study with Tom Sherwood of the Cleveland Orchestra, who's also super amazing as well. Oh, also, I should mention that I am the social media manager of our UMich Percussion Instagram page, which you should go follow at UMich Percussion. So shout out to them. But anyway, let me backtrack a little bit. But first, let me answer the instrument question. I think I really love snare drum, and I'm kind of the opposite of you, Sky. I do love my like rudimental solos, like Pratt solos, but also Tompkins, which I'm just like getting into. And like Tompkins solos, like they're amazing, and they're just so fun to play. I don't know. Like concert snare drum is cool, but rudimental is where my heart is at. And I guess I want to say drum set, but I can't play drum set. But I think it's so awesome, and like you have like jazz and funk and rock, and like that's so cool. And then I guess marimba. I'm not like super good at it, I think, but it's nice and pretty and cool. Okay, now let's talk about little Sulin, even though I'm pretty short anyway. Okay, so I think I started getting into percussion when I was in first grade. So first grade, yeah, I joined the beginning band, and it was just me really. So I just like did snare drum because the other option was piano, and like come on, everybody plays piano. But anyway, so I started with snare drum, and then my teacher actually gave me, I don't know how this happened, like a scholarship thing to this program called the Percussion Scholarship Group. Oh, and also, by the way, I'm from Chicago. And so this percussion scholarship program is tied with the Chicago Symphony Orchestra. So it was taught by Patsy Dash and Doug Waddell. And so I was in this program up until I graduated high school. So for about 9 years. And it was such a great experience. Like I got to play with like the CSO. We got to play in like Windy City Live, stuff like that. And so we had all these like awesome opportunities. Yeah, and it was like a great experience, all percussion. And then I went to Whitney Young Magnet High School, and shout out also to my band director who I love. His name is Mr. Barbic. He actually really opened up my eyes to like kind of like teaching percussion to like other people. So then I like helped teach like the percussion ensemble, just like like the top two bands, and then also our pep band, like march, like yeah, the drum line. So I did a little bit of that, which really like, I don't know, opened my eyes to like helping other people and just like teaching, which I at first I was like, huh, I don't know if I'm into this, but I really like it. I don't know, I think it's fun, just to like, I don't know, introduce percussion to like other people who like may think it's just like hitting objects when it's really more than that, I think. And then yeah, like I said, now I go to the University of Michigan, and I'm gonna be a junior. Yeah, and I really like it here. The studio is super super awesome, and we're really close. And
How big is your studio?
we have 30 people, so that's, I don't know about, how many do you guys have?
Mine's really small. We only have 11.
Yeah. Wow.
But we're like there's only about 100 people in the school anyway. So
well, that's really tiny, but that's nice though. Yeah, our percussion facilities are like super good, and I think Michigan now is turning more into like a new music school, but we dabble in everything, we don't discriminate. We do like orchestra and, or yeah, we have our like orchestra stuff, new music stuff, but then also like we have a really good jazz program too. So yeah.
Should we take a moment and say our majors?
Oh yeah. Okay.
So sorry, Michael, go first.
Yep. So, like I said earlier, I got my undergraduate in music education and percussion performance. Like the closest thing, I got a performance certificate, which is basically entailing I did a senior recital. But fun fact, thanks to COVID, I have not done a single recital ever.
Wow.
Like on percussion, at least. When I was younger, I used to play piano recitals all the time, but like never did a percussion recital.
Mm-hmm.
So I did 2 virtual projects, which I think one of them's still up on my YouTube channel somewhere. Just search my name, Michael Dulles. You'll find it. I'm in percussion performance over at James Madison.
Nice.
For my master's.
I'm currently studying for my Bachelor of Music Education at Banneker College of Music, and also in the process of completing my performer certificate. Finished my junior recital last spring, and I'm starting the stressful process of working through my senior recital, which should be about this November.
Awesome. Woo! You guys should check it out. I'm in my like bachelor's in music, and I'm majoring in percussion performance. And yeah, that's it. Cool.
Yeah, very cool. So, one quick question for y'all. What do you think your percussion end goal is going to be? Like, what would you like to do as a career?
You go first, Michael. You asked the question.
Since I asked the question, all right. So I know one of my ambitions in the percussion industry is to kind of become a college professor. That's my end. I think that's like my ultimate end goal. I would love to have some sort of opportunity to be able to play, possibly compose, and then teach at the same time. So kind of getting this like a little mixed bag of everything. Like I'd be really happy with a small college studio, and then just being able to freelance some more.
Keeping up with the order. I really see, so kind of like post plans, I really see myself kind of really stepping into the education scene. I do plan on being like kind of a band director, but also freelancing in percussion education, and possibly traveling as a clinician and kind of going to lots of different schools that don't exactly, like my high school didn't have the most developed percussion program. They have the beginning elementary school lessons, and then they have whatever they found in band, and kind of helping other schools kind of grow their appreciation for the percussive arts. Also like visiting some colleges and creating resources for students and educators alike.
All right, so mine's like kind of a lot different from you guys. So my like super goal that I don't know if it's ever gonna happen, but maybe one day, is to become kind of like the Ariana Grande or like the Beyonce, but like of percussion. But so like I bring percussion to like more mainstream audiences. So like you hear Ariana Grande on the radio, but what if it's like this awesome like percussion beat? Because I feel like but like have like that classical percussion in the pop world and somehow do something like that. Because I guess I forgot to mention this earlier in my intro, but like I'm kind of delving into like more electronic music, like making my own music with Logic. So I've been kind of getting more into that, and like how can I make like the marimba and like like regular like concert snare drum, maybe like even like tambourine or something like that, and how can I make it into like more like pop music, I guess, necessarily. And I know some like there's like a line for me, like how do I make it like not cheesy, but like it like fits like the instrumentation of what I'm playing. So like when you're playing Bach, sometimes they're like, if you're playing it on marimba, it's like, do you want it to sound like you're playing it on cello or like violin, or do you want to make it sound like you're playing it on marimba? So like I want to find a way to make like a cool pop song or whatever on marimba that sounds cool and not stupid or whatever. So I want to do that. And then my other kind of side thing is like to make music again, like using like Logic or whatever, and then like animating with that, because I've also been doing some of that. I don't know if you guys have seen it. You can check it out on one of my Instagrams. I have like 4 Instagrams. My art/music Instagram, where I create music and animate with it. Yeah, and then maybe make some like film scores or whatever. Yep, that's my story.
Yeah, very cool. When you originally said like pop music with percussion, my first thing was like a pop version of Ray Bond's "B."
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Like,
why not? I think
it's a
that's
bop
great.
already.
Yeah, like Schumann or whatever, like Kiji.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a funny
Like
thought. I
Zoom
was thinking
box.
of have you guys heard a fifth of Beethoven?
No.
Where it's like Beethoven's fifth, except turned into a funk song.
No. That
Oh
sounds
yeah, yeah, yeah.
awesome.
I'll send that to you
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah,
Anyway,
see,
um,
we should do something like
yeah.
that.
There you
Would
go.
you say? Second question. Would you say it's kind of like similar how, kind of Lindsey Sterling brought kind of violin to like the pop eye? That's kind of like what I was
Yeah.
thinking, but
Something,
with
yeah.
percussion.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I really like, yeah, I remember when I was like little, I was like, Lindsay Sterling is so cool. Except yes, but definitely percussion. Yeah.
Yeah, like your own thing. Her
Right,
thing is
right.
like violin and dance.
Right, exactly. I
Yeah.
mean, I could do violin. I could try.
Yeah, I mean, there's always room for collaboration. One of my things on my recital was supposed to be a collaborative work with my friend John Toomer. I know if you're listening, hey John, what's up? But like we were gonna
Hi.
play a piece called Legal Highs, and it was a marimba and violin duo, like some marimba stuff, like Nancy Zeltzman kind of deal.
Nice.
And it was like a piece all about 3 different ways to legally get high. So we had like caffeine, menthol, and sugar as like topics like Mr. Coffee, menthology, and like I can't remember what the last one was called, but it's something sugar based.
Nice.
It was a really neat concept piece, I think. So one more quick question for y'all, since we're kind of still introducing ourselves. What has been one of your favorite musical memories? It could be a gig, it could be a teaching experience, it could be whatever you're thinking. What's like one of your favorite musical memories?
Whenever I'm like doing like bios and stuff like that, I always mention this because it's such a big deal, I think. But at the time, I didn't know it was that big of a deal because I was like, oh, whatever. Like, I don't know. So I actually, when I was younger, I used to study with Sean Connors, who's part of Third Coast Percussion. And he was like, yeah, do you want to do this thing with us? It's this piece called In C. I don't really, oh, see, this is bad because I don't remember like too much information, but you can definitely find it on YouTube. So I basically played In C by Terry Riley with Third Coast, and like a whole bunch of other musicians, and we performed it at Millennium Park, which was really awesome. I don't know if there were 1,000 musicians or there was just like a whole ton, but there was like people like now that I like recognize, I'm like, oh, I didn't even know. Like I remember there was like Megan Arns there, but there was also like Snarky Puppy and like all these like well-known people, and I'm just like, like I didn't even think this was like that big of a deal, and it was really nice because you know how usually percussion is in the back. We were in the front, which was really scary, but it's okay. We also played with like the Merit School of Music, the percussionist too, which was really nice. Yeah, that was honestly probably one of the best experiences. And you know, I was a little kid, so I didn't really know anybody. And I was like a scared child, and like I guess I didn't really appreciate it, but now I did, but like now I like understand it, and now I'm like, wow, I really did that. That's like cool. Like how many people get to like play with all these like great musicians on this like huge stage in front of like a whole bunch of people. So yeah, and like I said, if you want to check it out, it's on YouTube.
Yeah,
So
that's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah,
That's wonderful. That's like a really impressive. How old were you?
I think I was in high school. Wait, was I in high school? I have no idea. I don't. Yeah, but I was like pretty young.
Yeah, that's a
I
neat
can't even
piece though.
remember. Yeah, it is a cool
You can
piece.
see.
It
It's
was
also
like
a
an
great.
hour long.
It's also a
Sorry, what was
great
that?
venue.
Yeah, that's a
Millennium
crazy
Park's
venue.
great.
Yeah, it's really nice and like super spacious and pretty. So yeah.
Awesome. So Sky.
All right, so my most memorable percussion performance experience, etc. Would definitely it's I personally I'd say it was my junior trip marching trip to Indianapolis. And what we had done is we had marched for the Indy 500 parade. Now it's very different to the world that I experience now, more like concert percussion rather than marching. But, I think it was at that time that I realized my true love and passion for percussion and all of its arts, because the thing of there's two events at the Indy 500, right? There's the festival and there's the race. The festival was a 1 mile march with no stops all around the Indianapolis Plaza, live stream around the TV. And then the second one was a march around the entire racetrack of the Indy Motor Speedway. And both of those events were on the world stage. And, that's great, but it's the feeling of having what you love so dearly and kind of marching down. You feel excited, you feel scared, but there's an extreme sense of pride and passion of what you're about to show the world. And I love that you come to realize you love that feeling. You want more of that feeling in whatever way you can get it. And that's kind of how I fell in love with percussion, is those tiny moments that you don't think about it too much, but a few years down the road, it's just amazing.
Nice.
So yeah, that's me. Michael?
Wonderful. So I think some of my most favorite memories of percussion in general are in the musical theater pit.
Ooh.
I played so many pit shows recently. That's one of my big things too. I also do pit shows. I'm like freelance percussion. I played with Shenandoah Summer Music Theater right before COVID, like pre-COVID times. We played Ragtime, which was my first like on percussion book, and that is not an easy book. I played Young Frankenstein with the guy who premiered it on Broadway, Patrick Brady.
Wow.
That is quite the musical, that one.
That one was like phenomenal. But
I love musicals.
It's a hilarious musical at that too.
Oh my gosh, it's so funny. That was like one of my favorite ones. Then we did like Sound of Music, which isn't as memorable, but it's still good. That was a really good summer too. But what I was gonna say was when recently Shenandoah got contracted to be the college premiere of Something Rotten. So I got to play a college premiere drum set book, brand new musical straight off of Broadway, Something Rotten. And that's probably, and with Patrick again, like it's just so fun working with Patrick because he knows exactly what he wants to hear. He knows the best ways to keep time. So like he actually uses like this kind of playing when he's conducting. He's like,
interesting.
Your beat's right here. It's on the hand. It's on the pad. You hear it 1, 2, 3, 4. None of this like other stuff too. Like if you need to get something, he starts you off like this. I just remember like him singing. I remember him singing the very beginning of Young Frankenstein. He's like right before we start. He's like, like right before we start conducting, and he's like, "All right."
Wow.
Right.
Pit music is its own monster. It's crazy.
Yeah,
I know, it's like crazy, but it's so awesome. I kind of just want to go to a musical, but like see like the actual pit and like look and see what they're doing, or like that'd be awesome.
This last summer I did Newsies, but the thing is the pit wasn't concealed. I was out in like the corner and everyone could see. And I think everyone's favorite part was because like how pit setups are. There's just wide everything.
They're crazy.
I was doing bongos in one side and then right hand and giant lunge for suspended cymbal crash with one hand. Everyone saw it. It was their favorite part of the musical.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a lot of responsibility.
Some of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always gotta get that going. Another one was like right after COVID. I got contracted to play the first musical in the city of Winchester, like post-COVID. I say post-COVID, like post-main lockdown whole deal, like recently. We played Beauty and the Beast over at a local high school. And I'll tell you, it felt so good playing like live musical theater again. Like after not hearing anything like this for so long, just having a whole ensemble playing with you. Yeah. Even if our whole ensemble was like one keyboard, one violin, a harp, and percussionist. Like just having them and like the whole like all the kids there, like even if they were high schoolers, but they sounded phenomenal. Like it was crazy just hearing everything back again. So yeah, musical pit theaters are one of my favorite things, and that's just like my biggest memory I have, just playing in pits.
Wow. Now I feel like all of these like memories are like flooding back to me, like my favorite percussion moment. But yeah, I'm like, wow, I have a lot. Yeah. Awesome.
We have quite the mixed bag of very different percussion experiences.
Yeah.
Um,
That's awesome though.
yeah.
Nice. All right. So hopefully you guys enjoyed watching our first podcast today. We have a lot for the next time's episode. We're going to be talking about percussion life hacks. So kind of like back to school stuff, how to get your chops back up, maybe like how to schedule your practicing, recovering from burnout, stuff like that. So if you guys have any comments, questions, or concerns, totally feel free to reach out to us. We would love to hear from you.
You
Yeah,
can find
and Michael?
Yep. You can find us on Instagram at Tams Perk Podcast, or you can send us an email over at tamspercussion@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Hey there, Michael from Tams Percussion Podcast. Just wanted to tell you all thanks again for watching and hope to see you later.